had asked you to keep a log of some of your smoking habits. Why don't you first just start off by telling me how that experience was for you?
Well, I had to carry around my little notebook with me and my pen, and anytime I was thinking about smoking or filling the pack in my pocket or seeing advertisements, I just had to like jot down all the things that you asked me to do in our last session.
What was the experience like? I mean, what did you find beneficial? What did you find annoying?
First, I thought it was going to be like a lot of writing down because I do smoke quite a bit. It was interesting to see. I don't think I looked at it too much initially, but after a few days, I'm like, well, there's a lot of smoking going on.
Right.
And you actually look at all the times that I'm smoking and how often I'm smoking. Yeah, so that was interesting to look at.
Yeah. Any discoveries that you made? Because obviously we're going to do that together, but any patterns that you saw?
I think, just the amount of money. Good thing that smoking's not too expensive these days.
Right.
But yeah, I spend a lot of money on smokes.
Yeah, definitely. And it can cause problems. And so I had asked you to just send me one day so that we could go over in our session. You've done that. And so let's look together here on one of the days that you sent me. So we're not going to go through the whole thing, but we'll look at some highlights.
Okay.
You started off your day, 7:30 a.m. And with this log here, you'll remember that we kind of talked about what you were doing before you wanted to smoke and then what some of the consequences were. And so you woke up at 7:30, you had written down that you just woke up, you were in bed thinking about all that you needed to do. And so you went and you smoked.
Yeah.
And it kind of helped you feel some relief, right? About all the long day that you had going on.
Stress.
At 9 a.m., you get to the office, you've got your 10 a.m. meeting, you decided to go for another smoke. You had a little bit of time, right? You said that the consequence was that you got to avoid doing the work that you needed to do, that you got to go and do something a little bit more enjoyable.
And sneak a puff in and get outside and just, get away from the office.
Right. And a little bit more interesting as well. Now, as we kind of go through the day, I notice this pattern of whenever something stressful comes up, whenever you're assigned to do something, you'll often go and take a smoke. And the consequence is usually some level of relief. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think sometimes when I have these tasks to do and things are mounting and it's like, the cigarette allows me to just kind of like get away from what's expected. And I can just take a breather and relax and kind of just like gather my thoughts. There's lots of work to do and there's lots of pressure and it's kind of buys me some time.
Right. And I think that makes sense. And I noticed as well that oftentimes it was because of stress. But other times it was actually quite social or sometimes out of boredom as well. Later on in the day, towards lunchtime, you wrote that you didn't even really feel like going out for a smoke, but some of your buddies at the office were going down anyway, and they invited you to come, and you wanted to just go and be with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about some of those experiences.
Well, it's social, and I wasn't really having any urge to have a puff or anything. It was just, the guys are going down, guys in my office, guys actually I do enjoy. So I want to spend some time with them and, just kind of being that camaraderie in the office because it can be so stressful and like just work. And this was a chance to, want to get downstairs and just hang out with them.
Right. And these are, you often put that the consequence was very enjoyable. You got to spend time with good friends, right?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it was really, the small little highlights in the day, right? That make you pull you through the day.
Yeah. So going over this, it sounds like your smoking is just so intertwined with so many different levels and so many different aspects, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always have a pack on me. There's a pack in the car. There's a pack at home.
Yeah.
Just reach for a cigarette.
Let's start with maybe the socializing, right? Smoking helps you to socialize. What do you think might be an alternate behavior?
Alternate. I don't really drink that much. I guess I could pick up drinking again. I think I'm just replacing one with the other, so that may not be a
Right,
good one.
okay, but it's an option.
It's an option, yeah, definitely, what could I replace it with? Well, I mean, social, I mean, I haven't played any, there's a, I know there's at a church, there is a, slow pitch team, some ball.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, there's a co-ed kind of like rec league.
right,
So sports, I mean, I did play some college sports and maybe that could be social, get me some out there. Probably have to get probably pretty winded right away, but that's
yeah,
it would be social, yeah. Maybe when we're drinking afterwards instead of smoking, but yeah, that's probably one area.
okay. I like that idea, right? Trying to find other places that you could go to feel connected.
Mhm.
Now, you spend a lot of time at work, right? You've got the old 9 to 5 that you'd mentioned.
Yeah,
Obviously, the sports team might help on the weekends or some of the nights, but I think there would still be that draw to smoking throughout the day and that kind of social aspect. That's a little bit trickier, but do any ideas come to mind as far as activities or
at work.
at work?
Ooh. Do I join one of these like safety committees or one of these other sort of like inter-office organizations? I don't know. Health and safety, I don't know. That's a good question. There are, those people that they always, when we go for our smoke break, I know they always, they're always the ones hanging out at the water cooler and they're always at the coffee getting either they go out for a walk to the local Dunkin' Donuts
Sure.
or the ones that stay in and they brew their own. I guess, you could always, there's that option, you could try something like that.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I like where you're going, right? There's the going for walks, there's the meeting up, maybe being more active during those coffee breaks, water breaks, even lunch. Trying to be a little bit more active during other opportunities that exist.
Oh, you know what? There is that guy in my, he's one of the back cubicles, Dan. His name was Dan.
Dan.
You know what he does?
Short bearded fellow.
Yeah, I mentioned to you before. He likes to go up and down the flights of stairs on his breaks.
Does he?
Yeah, he's training for some sort of like I don't know what's like the street to summit, some sort of I can't remember what it's called. The penthouse run or something, and it's up and down stairs. So he's always doing stairs, and he's asking a few times,
Right.
So I guess I could always, try a few flights of stairs with Dan.
Yeah. No, and that's what this is all about. It's about experimenting with new behaviors.
Sure.
Now, what do you think? Let's roll with this for a little bit. What do you think you might gain? What do you think are some reinforcers that may come from this activity?
I think the big thing is smoking less, then it would create less conflict at home with my wife, which means that I think part of that when there's conflict, I reach for a cigarette. So if I'm not having as much conflict and not smoking as much, which then kind of makes her more inviting to be around.
Right.
Which I guess would make me more inviting to be around, so it probably would help on the marriage.
Right.
Wouldn't have to always be like ready to wash my hands and don't smell like a smoke because I know she doesn't want me picking up little Bryce.
Yeah.
When I get home, put him on my knee and play with him, and
Tender.
she always wants me to wash, so I wouldn't have to be, always so vigilant about washing, those things.
Right.
So yeah, I think at home the big stress would be part of reducing for sure.
Right. And I think, I'm not sure how well you know Dan. Obviously, he knows you well enough to invite you, but certainly going up and down those steps, you may build new connections with clearly somebody who is very health minded.
Yeah, he might be a little bit out there, but I think he invites everybody. Right?
Yeah.
So, but nobody's taking on that offer.
Right.
I guess I could do that. He's pretty smart. I've read some of his reports. Looks pretty good.
Yeah. No, and I think it would. I think it may satisfy that social need.
Yeah.
You brought up something else, which was another big factor, stress. I mean, stress is a big reason that you continue to go towards that cigarette. You wake up in the morning, stressed out, cigarette calms you down. A meeting, cigarette calms you down, right?
That's right. Yeah, stress is the silent killer. It's gonna get you. They always say that, right?
Yeah. Now, Any ideas that you have about what you might replace? Anything that you've seen other people do that seems to work as far as how people stay calm without going and running to that cigarette?
I know some people like to crosswords or reading, or they just kind of like, is that with that distraction? They always seem to replace some of those pieces. I don't know how common that would be. I mean, kind of like dealing with work all day long. I don't know if I want to be doing reading or word puzzles and crosswords, but I don't know. I mean, honestly, if I had the time, I'd take a nap. I'd probably sleep more.
Right.
It'd be nice to take more naps.
Tough to do at work, but certainly an option, right? In some degree.
Check out a little bit at work, you know.
Sure.
Could set a timer for 2 minutes, close your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that might work.
I like, and I like these ideas. You talk about reading. I think music may also come to mind if you have a certain genre of music that you really connect to. It feels like that could be an artistic world.
You know what? I really like the elevator music at work. I like.
Oh, yeah?
Sometimes, like people don't like it, but I like to go up and down to those oldie hits.
Sure.
Yeah, kind of things like my childhood.
Right.
Yeah, I know it's kind of corny, right? But for me, it's I could probably ride the elevator for a bit, but take a few floors up and down.
Yeah.
Kind of check out a bit, come back.
And do you think an activity like that would be powerful enough to match the relief that you got from smoking?
I don't think it's powerful enough. I think it's something I can try. It's just what would be powerful enough might be the little mental break at the desk and just
Yeah.
closing the eyes and checking out maybe. Well, I don't know.
One of the things that we focus on here with behavioral therapy is muscle relaxation techniques, breathing techniques. We really focus on some of these behaviors you could do at any time. And maybe it would be helpful if we walked through one of those together.
Yeah.
That you could pair with maybe the elevator or pair with these little mental breaks you take at your desk.
Yeah, the muscle relaxation sounds kind of interesting.
Okay. Well, let's walk through one here together. So now, tell me about some of the things you're feeling. Tell me about what you're experiencing in your body right now.
My body feels heavy. Feet feel stuck to the ground. Feel nice and relaxed. Yeah, I really felt that light go through my head, to my chest. Yeah, interesting. Never experienced something like that before.
And there's a lot of these techniques. Some work better than others. It depends on the person. So part of what we want to do now is really solidify a plan, right? We brainstorm some ideas, some a little bit more comical and out there, others seem a little bit more applicable. And so let's create a plan here using this day that you sent me, and let's just try and replace some of the behaviors to help get some of the same consequences, okay?
Well, first thought is in the morning, maybe if I get up and go out of the house and, right now I think I went for a walk.
Okay.
That'd be a good way to start my day. It's not really engaging with my wife.
Yeah.
I think I usually step outside for a smoke anyhow, a little puff.
Right.
What's the difference if I step outside? She probably thinks I'm still going for a smoke, but she'll be surprised when I come and I don't smell like smoke if I'm out there longer.
Right.
And then really I've gone for a brisk walk. The days are getting brighter now.
Yeah.
Spring's almost here.
Right.
That might be a way to start the morning. It's
Yeah.
the first thing comes to mind.
Okay. So replacing the morning smoke with a morning walk.
Yeah.
Right. Getting active can be a great distractor. Getting our body, our heart pumping, things like that. Okay.
I think that also then kind of like goes naturally into in the morning she usually goes and picks up Bryce out of the crib and spends time with maybe I start going and doing that. Maybe I can also, if I don't go for a walk, go spend time with Bryce.
Right. And I know how much you love Bryce and he can be difficult at times, but I know the kind of relationship that you have with each other.
Yeah, it's really special when you look and you see this child that looks exactly like you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly like you. Seeing pictures, it is crazy.
Uncanny.
Yeah.
You know,
And so that connection, right? The joy, the happiness, that might just be stimulating enough.
that's a big one for me. Yeah, that kind of hits the heart.
Yeah, good. So morning, that's a great behavior, great plan. As we get into the workday, as we get into the office.
I think maybe the first break I can probably skip out with the guys. And I think I'm to try something like this breathing,
Sure.
square light, whatever, maybe there's other techniques we could talk about. I maybe try something like that at my desk. I do have that back cubicle, so I'm not really too worried what people think what I'm doing, but that might be something I'd be open to trying.
Okay. So trying to replace some of the smoking breaks with this relaxation, these relaxation techniques to see if that can help calm some of the nerves, especially when you're feeling stressed out about all the work you got to do.
I still think I like to leave the area. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I still think the elevator.
Okay.
Right, like kind of elevator hopping would be kind of fun. Maybe
Sure.
some breathing techniques and some music. Someone comes in, I just ignore them.
Right. Right. But one final thing I want to talk about today is how we can create a kind of man-made reinforcement and incentive for you. So, right, the breathing is going to help with the stress. The hanging out with your children going to help with the social aspect. Those are starting to replace the natural consequences of smoking, but we can even add on top of this a reinforcer of your own, a reward for sticking to the plan that we've created. Now, do any ideas come to mind as far as what might be rewarding enough, something that you've wanted to do?
All you can eat buffet.
All you can eat buffet.
All you can eat buffet on Friday or Saturday night, but I can get through the week and I can hit most of these targets, maybe not all of them. There's this wicked Chinese buffet that I'm itching to go to. It's greasy.
Yeah.
Come out of there sweaty after you eat. And I love it. It just takes me to that place I love to be.
Now, how long has it been since you've been to this place?
48 hours.
So very recent, something that you love.
It's so good.
So we can kind of use this as a reinforcer and a punishment.
Yeah, golden chopsticks.
Okay.
It's great little spot. Cantonese style cuisine.
So if you're able to make it a week, then you get to go. You get to go splurge and enjoy it.
Sure. Yeah.
And on the flip side, if you can't follow through with the plan,
then it's TV dinners.
TV dinners, microwavable, quick.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, I do enjoy it, but
yeah,
those golden chopsticks. Oof, it's the atmosphere. I just have this sweat that comes over me. Like,
yeah,
it's like it's so good.
And it's more about knowing that you missed out on it. It's the real punishment.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Those coupons came in the mail the other day too.
Okay, perfect. Then we've got our great incentive.
2 for 1, all you can eat buffet.
So I like it. We've got our natural consequences, and then of course we have this kind of man-made created reinforcement and a punishment, of course, as well.
Yeah, punishment is no golden chopsticks.
True. So, how are you feeling about this plan that we've created, about some of these elements and new behaviors as we come to the close here?
Yeah, I mean, part of me wants to go have a smoke right now.
Of course.
Kind of like sweating a bit. I'm kind of like anxious. I'm kind of like excited. Buffet, but also the chance of not having so much stress at home, and maybe I could get a little bit better shape if I do the stairs with Dan. Then maybe I will do the ball team, go out with the church. I don't know, it's interesting. It's different, right? And I just can't have all this stress at home all the time. Stress at work, stress at home. There's no relief. So I'm kind of like I'm really open to some change in my life, right?
Well, that's what this is all about. You've tried other therapies before. This one is all about doing things that are rewarding. And you've gotten into this habit of using smoking for all these kind of challenges that you're facing. You stopped working out, you stopped socializing with different people at your church. I mean, you stopped socializing with Bryce. I mean, there are these elements that you're missing, and a lot of what healing is getting back into those activities that are rewarding.
Yeah,
And so
sure.
experiment and see what happens as you go out and exercise a little bit more. See what happens as you spend more time with Christ. See what happens as you go and connect with people at church.
Yeah. Who knows, maybe I'll get a pair of those short shorts like Dan.
Who knows? Who knows?